Hi, welcome. This is regarding Python web programming, full stack course. Full stack web programming means developing web applications which can be accessed by using the websites. So whatever web programming we are doing, we develop as web applications actually, and web applications we can be accessed by using the various websites. Okay, so to become a complete full stack web developer, we should know the following technologies. Okay, we should start with HTML. Okay, CSS, HTML basically we should learn as a static web. Okay, basic web static web page, web and static page designer. If we want to become, we should know. And CSS is called as cascading style sheets. Okay, it is used for formatting the HTML instructions. Cascading style sheets used to format the HTML pages. Okay, so HTML, if you talk about, it is very important. Basic language, it is called as hypertext markup language. Okay, called as hypertext markup language, basically. And if you look at this CSS and all, CSS is called as style sheet language. Apart from that, you also need to understand client-side scripting language. This is called as client-side scripting language. Okay, scripting language can use JavaScript. Okay, to validate user input data. Okay, and to perform GUI based designs. Designs can be done, can also be done, by using jQuery. By using jQuery. Okay. Same way, server-side programming is very essential. Server-side programming means whatever we design to client. So let me explain clearly here. This three allow for us to develop a user interface. That's called UI. It will allow for me to create a web UI. It's developing web UI. Web UI means user interface. It's called as user interface. So the user interface is nothing but the web page, what you're going to display, layout and design and all. Maybe you have a window here. Within the window, you have a page. Within the page, you are designing some controls here, like text boxes. Okay, some designs you make here, and you just submit some data. You will make define here. One button you make, and you say submit here something. So the moment what will happen? The moment you click on the submit button here, your data will start transferring. Okay, your data will start transferring from this client. This is your client page. It will start transferring and moving towards server. So you'll have a server here. Okay, this is called database. So there is a database system or a database server will be here actually. So when you submit, your data should go to database server. How it will travel from your UI design to database server? There should be some coding here. So who will do this coding? That is called server side coding. That will be developed by you by using Python language. That is what we are learning here. This is developed by a Python developer. Okay, he will write the code to connect from web pages to database. So how can a Python developer connect, taking this UI data, connect to database? How can a Python developer do? He can do this by learning Python scripting language along with Django framework. Okay, and then along with the Python scripting. Okay, along with the Django and Flask frameworks. Okay, so as I told, database is the backend for our programming. Okay, this part of in full stack development, this part is called UI. It's a basic UI. This is the server-side coding, server-side scripting. You have to definitely learn this because without this, we cannot do development. Okay, this is your database. Okay, these are the main essential courses that we have to cover in order to become a Python full stack web developer. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and jQuery. Then Python with Django and Flask frameworks. Then database system like this. Now, what is Django? Let us try to understand on that. Django course provides basic and advanced concepts of Django for us. Our Django course is designed for beginners and professionals both, actually. And Django is a web application framework. It is a web application framework. I'm saying framework means it will provide a lot of built-in libraries, and it is a platform independent. It will work in any operating system, Mac, Windows, okay, Unix, Linux, Ubuntu, any OS. So it is used to develop web applications. It's a flexible framework. That's why we call it as a framework, Django. Okay. Our Django course includes also all the topics of Django, such as introduction, features, installation, environment setup, how to create an admin interface, how to develop cookies, how to create form validation, what is modeling, what is template engine, what is migration, what is MVT, model view template. Okay. All the topics are explained in detail so that the reader can get enough knowledge of Django. That's the reason we are covering this. So let me start now. What is Django basically? See, Django is a web application framework. It's basically a web application framework written in a Python programming language. It's purely a Python coded framework. It is. Okay, it is based on MVT model. MVT stands for Model View Template Design Pattern. It is one of the design patterns. Means every framework they'll have their own internal architecture or they'll have their own internal framework patterns. So there we also have in ASP.NET other patterns like MVC, Model View Controller pattern. But in Python, we have Django as the pattern that is called as MVT. So Django is very demanding due to the rapid development feature. It takes less time to build applications for collecting client requirements. Okay, that is the thing. Now, practically, how Django uh, is installed. Just I will show you one of the steps. So we can install from PyCharm also we can do. Okay, but I'm showing here from command prompt. So we can open CMD app here. We can go to the CMD app. From the CMD app, set Python path. Check for the Python path. If Python path is set already, no problem. Then you can say Python -m install Django. We can install this. This is the foremost important command that we should remember. This is the step to open CMD prompt and we have to install. Okay, this by giving this command, we have to install the Django. So for me, you can see I am getting the message called requirement already satisfied. I'm getting the message called requirement already satisfied, requirement already satisfied, requirement already satisfied. It means I have already installed Python. If you're installing for the first time, it will connect to a community website, Python community website, which is linked to Django community website. It will download the software Django framework from that site automatically. And that link is 24/7 available. Okay. Anytime you can type this command and download. So once Django is downloaded, once Django is downloaded, we need to verify it. Okay, need to verify it. So how to verify? You can open any of your Python IDE screen. Okay, this will be Python IDE, Integrated Development Environment. You can open there and you can verify Django is installed or not by typing a command called import Django like this. The moment you see no errors, if you feel that okay, import Django is given and there is no error, means Django is installed correctly. So then if you want to check the Python Django version, we can also check the Django version. You can just type print Django dot. You can also give Django dot something called version like this. So these two commands we can use to verify. Okay, You can use these two commands to verify Django is okay, installed and get the output like this. This is the one. Now, how do you create a simple Django? How do you develop a Django project? Okay, after installing, how to develop a simple Django project? If you want to know, you can go to you can go to this Django project. The first step is we should go to Python lib folder. Under that, we should open site packages. Okay, we should open site packages. So go to this C drive, go to users. Okay, then set del. Inside that we have something called app data. Okay, then you can go to Python. We have something called lib. Within lib you have site packages. So you have site packages. There you'll find Django installed here. Get Django here. Within that Django, what you're going to get is you're going to get one file inside the bin folder. Normally, if it is a new version within scripts folder, nowadays Django, if you are using new version, search for scripts folder. Okay, in old versions of Django, you'll have bin folder. The ultimate goal of going into this folder is to find this file. Django-admin file, we have to find this file. So this file can be available inside bin folder in old version, or you will find that in scripts folder. Scripts folders of Django, you find this thing in new version. Okay, now copy this file. To make a project, we have to copy this file from this path. Okay, so that is the point here. So we can go to this thing here. Okay, copy. Find the Django folder and then copy a file named Django. Okay, Django example. How to create a project. If you want to know how to create a project, basically, okay, you can go to this folder. I mean, your file explorer. Suppose you want to create your project, create an empty folder first. And create an empty folder called my web project. Give some name. After you give the name of your project, paste the file which you copied from the Django path. Okay, this file, Django admin, this file we should copy and we should put it in the new project folder which we have created, new web project. Okay, after doing this, go back to your command prompt. Make sure you go to command prompt and here you say E drive and say cd my web project, if you like this. Then after that, if you want to create the project, you can say Python -m Django admin and say create and say start project. Start project, give it as my project 1. This is your project name. Okay, this is your project name. Create like this. So this will backside, you can see that it will create some folder. You can see in the background, it created a folder here. Okay, this is going to create a project folder for you in Django. Inside this project folder, if you open, practically you'll see one more folder and a manage file. These two files are mandatory files which will be created automatically when we execute this command. Okay, so then when you go to the my project here, and you can see so many files are also available. Each file has some meaning, like settings.py is a built-in file, where we want to give whichever database I want to connect from Django, that settings and all I will be actually giving in this settings.py file. Whichever URLs I want to create, URL address means I want somebody to access my web project. That URL address I have to make and expose. So that URLs and all I will create urls.py file. So like this, I will be creating the project here. Now, after you create the project, we should also create the apps inside the project. So we can create multiple apps within the project. So in order to create an app within the project, we should open cd my project, and again say here you'll have manage.py file inside your project. You have this manage.py file. Using that file, we can create an app also. How to create? I'll just tell you. Python-m manage. Okay, can say start app. Okay, can give us my app one like this, and it will be creating a app file. You can see here inside the project one, it will create my app one. This my app one is basically a Django MVT pattern app. Okay, MVT means it will have models, views, templates will be not there. We define the template. Okay, within the views only, actually we develop the coding. Whatever coding we want in Django, that mainly will be developed in views, which acts as main controller of your Django applications. Okay, so that is the way to create the application over here. Now, if you want to make sure your Django is up, your server is up. So one thing I want to bring into your light here is whenever we install Django, create project and create app. Okay, by default, when I install Django, there is a server called light TPD. Okay, there is this built-in server called light TPD server. This light TPD server is a built-in integrated web server where it will allow for us to develop the web applications through Django and also test and debug that and execute them. That we can do by using this lightweight light TPD web server, which is integrated with Django. It is used mainly for testing. It's not that we have to test the Django code with Apache web server. We can use this light TPD server in order to debug and test the websites, web apps what we create using Django. Now, how to start this light TPD, that I will tell you. We can say here Python, -n manage, say run server. You can see your server is up now. You can see you get the link also with the IP address, default IP address, loopback address of your computer. It's a default loopback address along with the automatic port number. You get this the moment you start the server. We have to just run this URL link. We have to copy and we have to go to the any of this your browser and paste there. And you can see that your Django server is up now. It will show that the installation is successful and Django server is up. So you have installed Django. Congratulations. So like this, you get it. Okay, so this is the way how we train you slowly, step by step, about how to create Django application projects. How do we create the application setup? Okay, how do we manage the server? Is what we have discussed in this demo session. Okay, for further informations of the Django course syllabus, respective concerned person will get back and share the content to you. Okay, thank you. Bye.